Hello and welcome to the Bird Talk Show. Episode 30 is going to be a great show. Thank you guys for being here. I look forward to spending a little bit of time with you talking about these birds that make our life better in so many ways. I hope you enjoyed those Hawaiian clips filmed on location there at the Honolulu Birding Trail. Fantastic birds. Exactly where we saw Polly. Polly is a rose-ringed parakeet. Oh, raucous bunch of birds. Love to see those things fly. Big, strong green wings and a long tapering tail. Just chattering in the morning as if they're off to a good day. Just going to kill it all day long. We saw them over there in Kapiolani Park. Amazing. Amazing place. Amazing things. The ukulele festival, the Hawaii Ukulele Festival used to take place right there just across the park is the Barefoot Beach Cafe. I had a delicious bite, perhaps one of the most delicious. It's a toss-up in the video we did this week, where we kicked off the Kauai birding trail content, KBT. Check it out. There's a video up new this week about the Kauai birding trail. There was a place we ate breakfast there, and I declared that was the best bite of the entire trip. And we had some delicious food in Hawaii. There in Kapiolani Park, where the clips came from that you just watched in the introduction, it was a close contender. I wouldn't even say it was second place. It was like 1B. I mean, it was really, really close. And it was a lunchtime Kalua pig quesadilla. It was magical. That's what it was. But the breakfast tostito with Kalua, also Kalua, man, that smoked pork, low and slow. They dig a pit, they line it with banana leaves, they cover an entire pig in coals, and they roast it for 11 hours in the ground. And the love comes through when it gets to the plate. So, anyway, it's all about the birds. Wherever we go bird watching, we find good food, good people, great places. That's what birding is all about, even if it's in your own backyard, and it is. We've got the 24/7 live bird feeding station here at the Bird Garden YouTube channel. You can check it out right now. We'll check in on it later in the live stream here. We've got young out there. There are several species of juvenile birds, so it's basically busy all day long. We're doing a lot of bird feeding out there in the backyard. I recommend that you try out this bird feeding. It's a quality of life enhancement. If you're in a situation where maybe you're not able to do that, your landlord doesn't want you to do that, you prefer not to have the expense, you prefer not to have the cleanup, watch my birds. That's what they're there for, 24/7. Check out the Bird Garden YouTube channel, Bird Feeding Station. So today we're talking about bird watching and how it can be for everybody. I think bird watching benefits everybody, whether you actually watch the birds or not. Just because bird watching is going on in the universe is a better place. That's what I contend. Change my mind. I'm going to upload this live stream as content because my replay crew is strong, and I appreciate you guys very much. Wow, hundreds of you on the replay from last week's episode. We were very fortunate to have a very special guest, my friend John Hudson from KG Tropicals, an aquarium channel, and he's agreed to come back with his lovely wife, Lisa, the next time. They've recently purchased a farm, launched a new YouTube channel about the farm, and moved their business to Eastern North Carolina, and they're wanting to set up a purple martin colony. And it was the strangest coincidence. My wife and I were literally walking in from the garage, walking in the house, returning from a field trip, when the phone rang. And the caller ID indicated it was John from KG Tropicals. And I showed the phone to my wife. I haven't heard from John in a minute. So John says, hey, Rack, I want to talk to you about birds, in particular purple martins. Purple martin colony was on his mind. Well, the field trip my wife and I had just returned from happened to have been my very first visit to a purple martin colony, because bird banding was going on. They banded over 160 baby purple martins from this colony. I'd never been to a purple martin colony. Oh, sure, I've been places where they've had the gourds and the houses up, but it was just kind of auxiliary, just in the background there, ambient. Well, I intentionally went to a purple martin colony. Hadn't heard from John Hudson in months. He's been terribly busy with the move. And then when he calls out of the blue, he wants to talk about purple martins. So John finally gets it after, I've been in his ear for a minute with the birds. It's all about the birds idea. And then he laughs, when he finally figures it out. Oh man, it's all about the birds. And then just watch the live stream. I'm not gonna replay the whole thing. That was a strange situation, and we did through the conversation, we discovered another situation where it was all about the fish. We thought it was all about the birds, and then we figured out it was all about the fish. So check that out. Watch that live stream. See if you agree with us that nature lovers love nature. And if you love fish because they swim and birds because they fly, you're probably in a large overlapping group. All right. Maybe you keep more aquariums than you do bird feeders. Maybe it's vice versa, but probably you appreciate the opportunity to observe natural history, nature. And so the aquarium definitely puts it right in your view shed, and the bird feeding station does the same thing. One's typically indoors, one's typically outdoors. The bird feeding, you think maybe it's seasonal, but it's not. We have overwintering birds, and we have residential birds, nesting birds, migrant birds. So year round, there are birds out there at the bird feeding station. There will be yours too, probably, depending on where you are. You can come back here for tips. You can ask questions in the comments. We're happy to give you our feedback for what it's worth. We've been doing it for 50 years. We found a system now that is the best we have ever used in our 50 years of trying. All successful. Maybe I'm just the rare fortunate person, but I don't think so. I've never had a failed bird feeding station. Each time you set up a bird feeding station, it takes a minute for the birds to find your feeding station. And that's okay. And then sometimes you have to tweak the feed. What kind of birds do you have? Learn a little bit about that. And what kind of food do they like? A little bit of experimentation. And then you make friends with the birds in your area, and they come and eat the food from your feeder. It's a pretty cool deal if you're into that. I don't know why you wouldn't be. And once upon a time, I mentioned that bird watching, bird feeding is good for everybody. It's good for the universe. I don't know if I can add this slide to show you. Bada boom, I can. Okay, so notice those 4 orange squares there in this file, and the lower left square says economic impact. 17 billion, that's a big number. That's a big number. And if you read the small print below it, that's tax revenue. Okay, that's just the small percentage of tax that's collected. Now, wherever that tax is collected, whatever state is collecting that sales tax revenue, they're using that tax money to build infrastructure, provide education, safety, transportation. That's good for everybody. That enhances the bus system, the bus stop. So even if you don't watch birds, because there are people watching birds, there's a benefit to everyone. Now, I also found more than once that bird watchers in a group or independently, they would rather pick up a piece of litter rather than to leave a piece of litter. Over and over, I've observed this. It doesn't matter, again, if it's one person, two person, a large group. That's just what I observe over and over. So it's as if the bird watchers love the birds so much, they eventually start loving their habitat. And wherever they are watching birds, well, that's birds' habitat. So they keep it up. More so, they have more incentive to do that than someone who perhaps isn't a bird watcher. Nothing against other groups. I'm just making a positive observation about the bird watchers. So they take care of property, the environment, thereby the universe. That's pretty cool. That's a benefit to everyone. I don't know. I've bird watched in a couple of continents, right? Hawaii, Alaska, all over the U.S. And I don't think I've ever been to a place that was exclusive to bird watchers. It's always an additional user group. We do a lot of bird watching on the beach. Of course, there are other people there using the beach. State parks, national parks, scenic drives, mountains, trails, hiking areas, always open to different user groups. Public spaces. So in that way of thinking, the bird watchers, they're like a friend to everybody. So why wouldn't you invite the bird watchers to your party? Whatever it is. That you watched that KG Tropical interview last week on the Bird Talk Show, episode 29, which was epic, by the way. Probably will go down in history. No, not probably. Definitely will go down as one of the best of the best. We talked about the KG Tropical Birding Trail that I designed. Now, we're not trying to have KG Tropical's YouTube channel, which is, it's a large channel. It's I mean, so close to 500,000 subscribers, and that's not going to be a slowing down point. It would be anti-brand for them to shift into, hey, we're watching birds now. But it might be a very good strategy for a large YouTube channel to add bird watching as color commentation, kind of ambient. When John puts his John and Lisa get their purple martin colony going, and they're walking from the shipping room to the fish room, and oh, that's my purple martins. They're eating bugs around here. Just to have this little extra color, something else to talk about, but more importantly, another group to connect with digitally. Oh yeah, that's the aquarium guy, but he's got a purple martin colony. He's bird friendly. He talks about feeding the birds, not in a way that's off brand at all, but then the bird watching becomes a digital exponentializer. I made that word up and I like it. I'm going to keep using it. If you don't like that word, it's okay. It's okay. Just leave it on the buffet of options and don't partake. Don't reuse it. But if you do, feel free. Have at it. I put it out there for everybody to share and enjoy however you prefer. I'm going to take a peek over here in the chat. Looks like Nola's Dolls and Aquatics dropped in. Dolls and Aquatics. Hello and welcome. Inez Puziak, I hope I didn't butcher that too bad, is speaking a little bit of German over here. Don't know what that translation is. Hopefully it's family friendly because that's the kind of show we run around here. And maybe, let me see if I can drop that into a translator real quick. Anybody can translate that in the chat if you think I want to know. To English. This is live. This is a live performance. Oh, I don't understand anything exactly. Okay, all right, hang in there. We'll do more pictures. We'll be doing more pictures. All right, here's a picture. Let's see if this picture will go up there. Okay, so that's where we are. We're doing the Bird Talk Show episode 30 today. And we want to talk about the kickoff of this Kauai content. Now, we've hit a stumbling block. We've stumped our toe a little bit. I just got to share it with you. I got to put it out there so you know. But this is the red crested cardinal that turned out to be fairly common in Hawaii, both Honolulu and Kauai. If you know, we just did about a 10 video series on Honolulu, the Honolulu birding trail. That's where we ran into Polly. And then we took a flight to continue our Hawaiian adventure over to Kauai, where the red-crested cardinal was also quite popular. And I thought it was a bird I call a stunner. It's just stunning, and it's so friendly and so easy to see out in the open. It's like, wow, even if you're not a birder and you're not toting binoculars around, you're going to see this bird and appreciate it because he's everywhere. And so cute, so darn cute. Look at that. Pretty amazing. We love that bird. So in episode 30, we want to mention we are continuing the Hawaiian Birding Trail series, and we're in Kauai. So I designed 2 birding trails while I was over there. The Kauai Birding Trail, you can see right there, and the Honolulu Birding Trail. Now, this is a Notes in Paradise notebook that I got that clad with that sticker. I thought I had a blank one here to show you, but here's another one I've filled up with notes and will continue to fill in. This is a Notes in Paradise notebook. You can have one if you want it. We're going to tell you how to do that in just a second. They come in craft paper. You can see another one. I've written another ebook in one of these. They're great for that. I call this the condensed thesis. It's 48 blank lined pages. And then from there, you can fill in. There's another one. And here's another video project I've started. All right. You better hurry and grab one of these if you want them, because I'm going through them pretty quick. I've got a short stack. Here we go. It's just blank lined pages, 48 blank lined pages. If you want one, go over there to the Kauai Birding Trail Facebook group. Cool group over there. Tells you all about the Kauai Birding Trail, and you drop a comment in there. We'll get you in the group, but you have to request to get in because I wanted to be a gatekeeper. It's not super formal. It's just, hey, somebody's keeping an eye on this. We don't want any shenanigans. We're just here to have a good time. So you request to get in, I'll let you in. Then you can drop a comment saying you'd like to know how to get a hold of one of these notes in paradise, and I'll give you some further information. So, but that's my social media trip. Okay, hey, I got this cool thing. I love it. I'm burning these things up. I've got a short stack. I'm not going to count them. Short supply. If you want one, this time I'm going to ask you to support the Kauai Birding Trail Facebook group. Go over there and ask for one, and we'll tell you how they're available to you right now. Okay, now I mentioned another ebook. I wrote an ebook about going to Hawaii. It was, I mean, logistically, there are lots of boxes that have to be checked to get to Hawaii, especially the time we went. Our first flight left the day after they dropped all of the special requirements. So it had basically been semi-shut down, very difficult to travel. We went the day after that was lifted, no problems. However, I'm in Tennessee. I'm in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, and getting from Tennessee to Hawaii, I wouldn't say I guess it is. It's some hoops you have to jump through, but much like any other trip you're going to take, just Hawaii, you're going to go from one side of the United States to the other side, and then 2,000 miles out into the middle of the Pacific Ocean. So, flight planning, timing, scheduling, all of that. I figure, hey, that might be a deterrent to a lot of people. Let me see if I can make this doable via an ebook, a fun little ebook. And I did, I think so. I think it is. I think it's doable. I think you'll enjoy it if you go through actually the steps to get there. So the ebook is Hawaiian Adventure, and it includes a prep-by-step planner. And we talk about lots of things in the course of writing this book. The people I talked to, what I found out was the biggest obstacle for people, the reason people don't even look at Hawaii as a destination, is because of the perceived expense to get there. And true, it can cost a lot of money. And what I found, and I explained in the book, is it basically depends on how much convenience you want to purchase. Okay, so if you're very flexible, during the course of writing the book, I found a flight from the mainland USA to Hawaii for $85. So it's really not the expense. Now, everyone that I've shared that information with is like, what? Man, I'd go to Hawaii for $85. Well, okay, that might be the book for you. There will be a link in the description of this live stream when it uploads, and it is in the last few videos and live streams. There's a link. You can go check out the ebook if you're into that kind of thing, and it might help you with any kind of travel. It's not limited to Hawaii specific. Hawaii was the motivation, and we had a good time writing it. It was a motivation for me to write it, and so it is the destination that's highlighted in the book. It'll work if you're going to an East Coast beach. Not so sure. It's not an end all. Okay, you're still going to have to make some decisions on your own, and use your best judgment, so forth. And I don't think it touches on any travel that would require a passport. So the word passport doesn't appear. So international travel, this might not be the book for you. But domestic travel from the U.S., it might be a fun read. Okay, I enjoyed writing it, and I hope it helps you. If so, leave me a comment on one of the videos. Let me know how you liked it. That'd be cool. We got Nanakin Aquatics dropping in the chat over here. What is going on there, Kenny? What's up, fish people? Good morning, Rag. Glad to have all you fish people here. And if you become a fish bird person, that's all right. Or like me, you become a bird fish person. That's cool too. Now, diversity is beautiful. How do I make me bigger on this screen? I don't know. More of me on the monitor. There we go. There we go. That's a band joke. Okay, I've got these notes in paradise now everywhere on the desk. But that's cool. It's kind of a warm feeling. I like that. The Kauai Birding Trail series. Oh man, we stumped our toe. We got one video out there. I love it. It captures what I wanted to capture, and you can tell if you watch the Honolulu content, those 10 or 12 videos, you can tell I was only in Honolulu for a few days, and then we were in Kauai for about a week. I'm much more chill already, kicking off the Kauai birding trail content. It's like Island Time is catching up with me. All right, I'm laid back, toes in the sand, baby. And this video captured what I wanted to capture, told you what I wanted you to know about this first day in Hawaii, the Poepu beach trip. Oh, the snorkeling. Oh man, did we see some snorkeling? Probably. There's a short clip in the Poepu beach video about the fish, the saltwater fish. I'm in waist deep water. I can't believe it. Put my in the video. So I put my face in the water, and I'm amazed. Prettiest fish I've ever seen, prettier than any aquarium I've ever seen. Just so colorful, so close, so accessible. Oh my goodness, amazing. One of the fish, I asked you to help me identify them. I don't know their names. I hear that one of the fish that we got some great close-up footage. I mean, I was within a foot of this fish, just swimming in the Pacific Ocean with it, basically. It was called a Moorish Idol, yellow, black, and white stripe, big, long, trailing dorsal fin. I would say kind of a triangular shape, similar to a freshwater angelfish. Just crazy, crazy coloration. So probably I was all of that to say probably there'll be a special video for all of the underwater footage. I did bring an underwater camera. We did go snorkeling several times, several different places. Each time new surprises. Yeah. and the birding was great wherever we went. Okay. Uh I just wow. Just wow. I'm thinking now of all of those places, a flood of memories. Just it's been what, a month. We went in April. We were there in April, so it's been a couple months, and I can still smell the sea breeze when I think about it. Oh, it's a great feeling. So anyway, we stumped our toe. All right, that's all of that. Great, fantastic. Now we've got a little something here we got to work through. So I go to make the second movie, right? The second Kauai birding trail movie, and iMovie is jammed up again. Okay, I'll try it again right now just so I can give you a live update. So what happens is iMovie gets jammed like this, and I can take it to the Mac store. Huge hassle, big heavy monitor. Last time it got scratched. Or I can call Apple support and we can push some buttons and we can get iMovie functioning at the expense of dumping all of the clips and photos that I already have uploaded in different projects. So I lose all of that. I lose that when I do the hard reset, and it's very painful to lose that. Now I have to go back through all of my files to find them to reload into iMovie. So yeah, I'm afraid we're jammed. That's what I'm afraid of. Let me see. It's doing the rainbow circle of death. What if I want to force quit? iMovie not responding. Okay, so we got a trip to the store coming up, or I'm gonna have to dump all of that memory. Either way, puts us behind on our Kauai birding trail content. My apologies. Hang in there, please. In the meantime, if you haven't watched all the Honolulu content, it's a good time to get caught up on that. And then there's one Kauai birding trail, Poepu Beach, which arguably one of the best stops. No, it's can't say it's like the food. It was an outstanding stop, and the number one stop I'll probably save. We'll build up to that very best spot. But all the spot, I mean, and look, one of the clips in the intro came from Kauai, Honolulu Bay. Okay, we're at Honolulu Bay, which if you haven't been to Honolulu Bay, I can't put it into words. I can show you pictures. I can tell you it was amazing, but there's a calm that comes over your spirit. It's like you've just walked into a meditation, and you wonder what is this euphoric feeling? How did I get this? Well, you went into a parking lot and you walked over to this beach, this bay, and all you did was look around and warm fuzzies. Now, I'm in the middle of this experiencing this euphoria, right? I've been in Hawaii for 3 or 4 days. I've got my Hawaiian legs under me, so to speak. And I look to my right, and somebody has dropped a coconut. It had the top broken, like probably a drink came in it, right? And but the coconut meat is still in there. And so these red crested cardinals and one common minor, they're just feasting on this coconut. And I mean, there's a dozen of those red crested cardinals, and they're everywhere. And I just take out my phone and start recording. I just walk as close as I can so that I'm standing right over those birds. And they're like, okay, pal, if you'll move slow and stay right there, we'll stay in the area and you can film us. But this coconut is delicious, man. You should try some coconut. It was that way everywhere we went. There was some special thing. And that's what I want to catch in the Kauai Birding Trail series of videos. I want to share that special thing. So when we get to the Honolulu Bay content, well, I've already given you the spoiler alert. There you go. That and much more. And I'll share the amenities with you and how I thought it was getting there, getting around. That was it crowded? Was it expensive? Was there fees involved? I want to share all that travel info with you. And it's good information. Again, whether you're going to take your binoculars or not, several of the places that we went had geocaches. If you've been following the channel, you know I love geocaching. It's basically a treasure hunt guided by GPS, so anybody can do it with a free app. There is an opportunity for a paid upgrade, and with a paid upgrade, you get access to more of the geocaches that have been hidden. When you, as a geocache owner, hide a geocache and log it on the app, you can determine whether it's a premium location or just a regular location. And many times, some of the nicer ones are made available only to premium members to preserve the hide. Maybe it's an expensive travel bug hotel or something, and the premium players are typically more experienced and better at maintaining the game. And the non-premium members, they can typically be younger players who don't really understand. They're not supposed to take certain things. So anyway, that's a brief introduction for you about geocaching. And I did release 4 geocache travel bugs for the Bird Garden YouTube channel using our Bird Garden YouTube stickers. Converted those into a game piece and purchased a number from the geocaching website, attached the number permanently to the travel bug that I constructed from the stickers, 4 of them, and left them at 4 different places in Hawaii. They've all been picked up. One's traveling around Europe right now. One I think is still in California, and 2 have not. They've been taken from Hawaii, but they haven't been replaced yet. On the app, I can click on View Map, and it shows lines with mileage of how far these things have traveled. So pretty cool to leave a travel bug in one location and then find out in 3 days later it's traveled 4,000 miles to Europe. That's just pretty cool. Or is it 12,000? I don't know. Thousands of miles. I'd have to look. So each travel bug gets a description. And so in the description, I'm able to share the joys of bird watching and encourage people to watch the Bird Garden YouTube channel for some geocaching content and also to learn more about bird watching. So for me, it's a fantastic collaboration. Each one of those things, I don't know, $6 max, maybe $5 to get them registered to buy the permanent number that affixes to them so they can be logged. For me, it was a nominal expense. I would rather do that than buy a $5 souvenir, tchotchke, whatever you call that, like these Hawaiian guitar picks. I just, I could not. The Hawaii guitar picks. I had to have those, right? How do you go to Hawaii and not get guitar picks? I don't know. Can you do that? I don't use them for the ukuleles. You see Redbird there. I designed that. This company, by the way, I love them. The Magic Fluke Company. They sent me that soundboard blank in an envelope. And I took it out and applied my Northern Cardinal painting. That's my painting. Mailed it back to them, and they made my ukulele, custom ukulele. I don't know if you can see. No, they're usually directly through the sound hole is an ID card. This model is called the Flea, and it says Flea. And I asked them to move it down so that would look more like an eye, and they did. So it turned out great. They engraved in the neck. That's engraved and burned red bird. So we got that. Let's see. You want to hear a strum? Let's see how this. Let me know if you can hear this. No, there it is. Hawaiian style music I've just become enamored with. Aloha Oi. I'm taking actually a ukulele certification course. I'm going to become hopefully definitely I'm going to become a certified ukulele player, and that's with the help of my instructors Craig Chi and Sarah Maisel, professional ukulele players that are amazing. These guys, I mean, they deliver. I know their credentials are on the moon. They're incredible musicians, but their care in delivering the beginner information in a digestible way, and then working individually with the beginners, watching you play and giving you direct feedback. It's not like reading a book. Do this, 1, 2, 3. It's them watching you play. Try this. Keep the wrist straight. There you go. There you go. Keep that wrist straight. Move the thumb up on top of the fretboard. You've got it down a little bit, and it's causing your wrist to bend. And try a smaller range of motion with your right hand versus the elbow. And it's things like watching your golf swing in a video, I imagine. I mean, in your head, it feels right. You can't see it until you watch it, and then have an instructor say, you're not coming back far enough in the backswing. You're not getting through with your wrist at contact with. You don't see those things. So to have somebody, I mean, it's like professional lessons. I'm doing it through artistworks.com, not sponsored. Just if you're interested in learning an instrument of any kind, music, I'm only doing the ukulele stuff. I found Craig and Sarah over there, and they're doing a bang up job. I love those guys. Shout out craigandsarah.com. You want to learn the ukulele? You just want to enjoy some ukulele music. They're over there in Honolulu. I didn't get a chance to see them. Yeah, they do backyard concerts that anybody can enjoy. Check it out on their website. And I spent a minute to discuss that with you so you would know. I think that ukulele music, and especially for me as a lifelong learner, learning the ukulele, it is a quality of life enhancement. It makes life better for me, just like bird watching, just like fish keeping. So I've said this in ukulele forums. I'm a qualified bird watcher, and I get a lot of the same enjoyment feeling from playing the ukulele. That ukulele is a happy instrument. Even in ukulele dumb, in the whole genre, people say you can't play the ukulele without smiling. And and if it doesn't come in, across your face, it's definitely in your heart. It's just a fun instrument. I had the grandkids in, fortunately, this weekend for Father's Day. It was a fantastic visit with them, and they like the ukulele. And so I was able to trick them. Craig Chi, my instructor, taught me this lullaby. I asked them to listen. They wanted to hear G-Paw play the ukulele. Little did they know that G-Paw had learned a lullaby that would put them fast asleep. I butchered that, but you get the idea. And that's the beauty of playing live without rehearsal. My apologies, Scratchy and Sarah tried to teach me better than that. But I'm not certified yet. I hope they don't see this and say, I don't know if you're ready for that certification. They'll say, okay, that's a good starting point. I like what you were doing here, but maybe maybe you work on those chord transitions a little bit, and that strumming pattern seemed a little weak, a little in and out. They're cool that way. Hello, Silver Creek Aquarus. Good to have you here and welcome. Danican Aquatics says, I lived in Hawaii for 3 years and they do have some amazing birds and fish. LOL. Tell us in the chat over there, Kenny, if you're still around, what island you lived on. Pretty cool. And that another thing that birding taught me. I went to Hawaii because I wanted to see Laysan albatross, right? I want to see it. Never seen an albatross. Found out they nested in Kauai. They're ground nesters, and they're very large birds. Yeah, sure enough, right at our resort, there was a lot of albatross over there nesting, and then they're gone. They lay their eggs, fledge the chicks, and they're gone. So we had to go in April. Yeah, so that was Kauai because albatross. So we're over there in Hawaii because of the birds. We did see humpback whales. We saw the water spouts out there one day. It was so cool. Everything was so cool. But Kauai because albatross. And then we had a layover, just extended it to 3 days in Honolulu. So glad we did. Got to really do that island. But as a lifelong learner, the cool thing was we were there for birds. We met nice people, had great food. I learned a little bit about, I'm no expert, but a little bit about Hawaiian geography. Same thing in Rio Grande Valley, Texas. Places you've heard of. In maybe your mind, if you're not a map maker, if cartography is not your thing, maybe you don't think about the geography. Okay, yeah, it's Texas, South Texas, check. But when you get there, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, there's McAllen over here. Okay, cool, cool. And there's the Mexican border. Yeah. Oh, SpaceX. I didn't know that was down here in Boca Chica. Oh, wow. So you learn about the geography. For me, that's fun. Now, maybe I'm just old and slow, and arcades don't do it for me anymore. I'm through the whole pinball, skee ball thing, thankfully. But learning about this geography wherever we go, especially the Hawaiian Islands. I mean, I asked the question. So, if you want to go from island to island, is there a ferry? How far do you have to fly? It's a helicopter ride. Well, the islands are spaced so that you're flying. You're on an airport, going from airport to airport. So they're spaced there, and it's short ride, short hop. You get up to elevation, then you're basically just kind of up and down 30 minutes. More of a hop, in an airplane, but you're not gonna swim, and it's Pacific out there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. You're not gonna do a small boat. Not from, I guess you could if that was your goal, but uh, you're probably going to be more than a day doing it. And so, yeah, you're flying. Okay, cool. And then the terrain, amazing. Just, I mean, they filmed Jurassic Park there in Kauai. I mentioned that in the video. It is pretty beautiful. Sheer cliffs, just ruts in these mountains that raise from volcano eruptions, I guess. And then they've become lush green. Oh man, like I think Kauai has more rainfall than any place on earth, like average 11 meters per year. 11 meters per year. Okay, 33 feet plus, 35 feet of rain a year. Crazy. But beautiful, lush green mountains, sharp, jagged, rugged green mountains, and the birds. Oh my gosh. I wish I had better news about how I'm going to get all that information out there. I should have had another video out already and working on a third one on the Kauai birding trail. And we got this obstacle, such as life. Got to overcome the obstacle. So we're going to push through. That's one of those unexpected things. It didn't have space in the hopper. Now the hopper's jammed. So it gets to the head of the line. Okay, fix iMovie. All right, yeah. Well, I had these other things in the hopper that I gotta. Some of these things got to keep rolling, and then we'll get back to the iMovie as soon, like ASAP, as soon as it can have a break, like immediately following the live stream appointment. Don't know how long it's going to last, open ended, however, required. Okay, so then perhaps I can come back and make the following that appointment. There are a couple phone calls that have to be made. Then perhaps later this evening, iMovie, and then tomorrow, um, carve out some time to get to start working on the Kauai birding trail videos for you guys, so that then we can get back on a regular schedule and start pumping out that video content like we did the Honolulu birding trail, which I'm very pleased with in retrospect. Looking at the Hawaiian birds playlist, I'm very pleased with the way all of that worked out, and I appreciate you guys for your support watching those videos. I truly work hard on them and I enjoy them. I put out something that I would want to watch, so I'm very comfortable encouraging you to watch those. Take your mind off who's bugging you for a minute. Enjoy some Hawaiian terrain, food, birds, people. And if you're considering going yourself, is a little bit of a travel guide. That's not the intention. It's just the way it turns out as I tell you everything that's going on. And we are going to do more of that in Kauai. Well, you'll see when you watch. If you haven't watched any of that yet, you want to start with the new one. It's the Kauai adventure that we kicked off with, going to Poepu Beach, which you can only get so much in a video. There's a piece of that Poepu beach trip that's not included in this video. It may come out, it may show on a feature reel. It may be a video just by itself, but I'll tell you what it is. Spoiler alert. If you don't want to know what's coming up in a future video, now's the time to take a break from the live stream. In 3, 2, 1. In order to get to Poepu Beach from our resort in Princeville, which is North Kauai, we had to drive through the tunnel of 1,000 trees. And the legend goes that a farmer was planting some trees on his property. And now I'm going to guess here. I haven't researched. I usually do the research when I'm making the video, right? It may have been that he acquired some land that had been cleared previously by cattle owners, and he wanted to reforest it. So he had a lot of trees he wanted to plant on his property. And after he had planted all that he wanted to plant on his property, he had 1,000 trees left over. And so there's a straight stretch of road, and he just planted like 500 trees on either side of the road. And now the crowns have grown together. So, and what kind of tree is it? Well, let's leave some bait for the video, right? But anyway, 500 trees. You just drive through. It's like you're driving down this road. All of a sudden, you're in a tunnel of trees, and it's like, this isn't an accident. And then you learn the story, and it's pretty cool. So that's coming up. And we didn't include that in the Poepu Beach. I think it would be like a contrast. Like, tell me more about that tree story. What's going on there? Poepu Beach, snorkeling, sea turtles, monk seals, Puka Dog restaurant, famous, been on TV, ate one, loved it. You should eat one if you're down there. I recommend it. The birds, a pond beside the parking lot held birds. The beach, birds flying over the ocean, but just birds everywhere. Picnic area. So Poepu Beach had enough going on, I felt, in that video that we could separate out the tree of 1,000, the tunnel of 1,000 trees, because it's interesting enough to be either a significant highlight or a video just all on its own. Right there, just north of Poepu Beach. Actually, I don't think we encountered anything else. No birding stop, no businesses, no tourist stops, no view sheds between Poepu Beach parking lot and the tunnel of 1,000 trees. So It's kind of out there, standalone. Why the man chose that area, I don't know. Just work, just straight road, kind of boring. Yeah, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's get about 1,000 trees down there. See what happens in 20, 30 years. Yeah, I mean, if I owned a road, and I don't, but if I owned a road, that's an idea I would bring back. You know what? Making making a tunnel of trees. Too good, too good. So anyway, there's that, and we are 51 minutes in. Thank you so much for being here. Danican Aquatics wants to know: will you be attending the Triple Crown Rack? No, no plans to travel to the Triple Crown. Thank you for asking. It sounds like it's going to be an outstanding aquarium conference and convention. I hope you guys have a blast. If you're competing with your fish, I hope you win. And please let us know over here at the Bird Garden how that works out. Danican says he lived in Oahu in Pearl City. So, 2 weeks ago, we did the Pearl Harbor video. We went bird watching at Pearl Harbor, right there in Pearl City. Had a great meal. Again, a great meal in Pearl City. Nico's Pier. Have you ever eaten there, Danican? We went over to Nico's and had a fantastic. I ate the poke. I forget what my wife had. I love the poke there. They had a fish market attached to Nico's, and you could go in. They had like 8 different kinds of poke, and you could make it a poke meal, and get some different rice and spam and whatever you wanted with it. It was pretty cool deal. But Pearl City was so nice, just north there of Honolulu. Easy Uber. We didn't rent a car in Honolulu. We Ubered up to Pearl Harbor, Ubered back, and then walked around in downtown Honolulu. Danican says fly is easiest. Back then it was less than $50. Yeah, flying from island to island, less than $50 to each island from Oahu. Yeah, and then you find, just like any other flights, you find deals. And depending on how much convenience you want to purchase, do you want to fly first class, business class, coach? Do you want to fly a particular time on a particular day? Are you going to shop for a deal and say, yep, I can go that day? Then it gets a lot cheaper. Very good feedback. Thank you for that, Danican. Yeah, so, okay, so Danican says he lived on Oahu, but island hopped on the weekends with his beautiful bride, Danny. Yeah, flies easiest. And then, yeah, LOL. It's because you're on Hawaiian time. Never a rush on anything. Well, yeah. And so when you're not on island time, when you arrive in Hawaii and you're ready to get your bird watching on, you're not on island time yet. But island time doesn't care. Island time doesn't care if you're in a hurry, because island time don't hurry. It's like, relax, brother. Relax. Everything is going to be okay. After about that third day, you get your chill on. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we're going to eat around 11ish. Yeah, that's. And that said, every restaurant we ate at, the staff was hustling. They wanted you to get your food. So uh, I don't know if that was an exception to island time, or it was just the way people had pride in their work. But the food came. It was very expedient, and I think part of that was Honolulu was very crowded. There were people in Honolulu, and the servers, man, they had to hustle. There was always a line. If you got a seat at a bar or at a restaurant, if it wasn't off time, you're usually waiting, and those servers are just hustling. They're full and they're backed up, so they're really working. But it makes it hard to put it into context. You just have to feel it. You just have to feel it. Okay, so that being the exception, we waited 2 hours for our shuttle to get to the airport when we landed, and we touched down in the Big Island in Kona Airport and flew to Oahu, Honolulu, and then in Honolulu we waited 2 hours for our shuttle. to pick us up. And, well, they were stuck in traffic. It wasn't like they were taking an hour and a half smoke break. But yeah, traffic was moving at island time. Yeah, let's just come on, let's go, get in line and just kind of go and check out the rainbows, which we did. Oh my goodness. We were going very slow from the Honolulu airport to downtown Honolulu because of traffic and rainbows. I mean, I'm used to a rainbow, right? A rainbow. Oh, it rained. There's a rainbow. Well, Hawaii, I don't know how. I don't know how the physics work over there in Hawaii, but I mean, rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. Wow. I don't know if it's different rain showers in different areas. If the sun reflects differently off of those steep mountains, I couldn't figure it out. I just enjoyed seeing all the rainbows. I learned that the Hawaiian University, their mascot team name is Rainbow Warriors. Hey, work what you got, right? The birds, if you could see a bird flying through a rainbow and you're a bird watcher, that's pretty cool. I've never seen that before, but was it worth the trip? Yeah, the whole everything. The Hawaiian goose, the bird of Hawaii, Hawaii state bird, Hawaiian goose, the nene, smallest goose in the world, rarest goose in the world. It's in the first Kauai video. I went over there to see the albatross. These geese were a bonus. They were on our resort. Cutest things ever. I love the nene. Love the nene. Danikin says, needless to say, I threw all of them into the ocean. Before that, he said, yeah, Danikin said, one of these years I'll meet you in person. Hopefully sooner rather than later, Danikin. Kenny, I'd love to meet you too. Sorry I missed you at the Aquaticon. Something we did over here in the East. It's really not convenient living a continent apart there. My grandfather was on the only ship to leave the harbor on its own power. I got thrown in the brig because I was visiting the Arizona and there was a group of Japanese laughing at the grave. Well, tough, just tough. I don't want to fathom. Sorry you had that experience. Peace. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for your service, Kenny. You dog, you marine dog. Which reminds me, I got a text from my son yesterday. Said he'd been promoted, so that was cool. Staff sergeant. Now, I was discharged as a staff sergeant in the Army, so I was happy, proud to share with my son that I will never outrank him another day in his life. He encouraged me not to forget it. Oh, fun times. Thank you for your service there, Kenny. I appreciate that. All right, we're down to the last few seconds. Thanks for joining this live stream. We've talked about the beautiful birds of Hawaii. We've talked about the Kauai birding series. Going forward march, one way or the other. We've talked about great food places, geocaching. On the Kauai birding trail, I've released one video. Poepu Beach, fantastic spot. I think you're going to enjoy that. I appreciate the support, as always. If you want to let the algorithm know that we're doing what you like here, tell the algorithm you like it. Hit the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, I appreciate that. It's another algorithm trip. It helps the channel gain favor on the YouTubes and encourages us to produce more content. I do it because I think you'll like it. I don't release it to you unless I already like it. And we're going to do more of that, hopefully, in the next day or two. Until then, why don't we all get out there and see some birds?